So, the Santa Maria Antiqua sarcophagus is believed to have been made circa 270 BCE. It was found buried beneath piles of rubble along with the rest of the Santa Maria Church in Rome after a large earthquake occurred in 847 BCE. This sarcophagus was constructed years before Constantine allowed Christianity in Rome, in a time where many practiced in secret. Because of the sheer intricate detailing, it is believed that this was most likely made with the assurance of purchase. The container is made of marble and was clearly constructed for someone of higher class who must have either been really brave or super committed, considering how illegal Christianity was at the time. The Santa Maria Antiqua sarcophagus is decked out in various biblical scenes. On the left, we see a portrayal of Jonah and the sea monster that consumes him because he runs from God. Beside him, we see images of a feminine orant figure and a man holding or writing scripture. Both figures have no faces or are unfinished, and that is because it is believed that these would have been made to appear after the man who purchased the sarcophagus and his wife, similar to donor portraits in later cultures. Beside them, we see the Good Shepherd, who is a representation of Jesus. Next to him, we see portraits of John the Baptist and a tiny child, who is believed to either be Jesus or a representation of becoming new through Christ. And lastly, we see a dove beside John the Baptist watching over everything. The message of the sarcophagus is the idea of life after death that Christianity preaches. It's this idea that while we as humans struggle with sin, after we come to Christ and are baptized in his name, we are given an afterlife in heaven with him, the Good Shepherd. Even though Christianity in Rome was super illegal at the time, the fact that this sarcophagus even exists proves that it remained prominent and passionate. Early Christians viewed the ideas of life after death with Christ in heaven to be worth the danger of illegal practice. Okay, so here we have Susanna and the Elders, a piece painted by Artemisia Gentileschi in 1610. It's a portrayal of, the biblical tale of Susanna and the two elders. These two men come across Susanna bathing, and they try to convince her to sleep with them. She declines, and it becomes a whole thing. But this piece is interesting because several other male artists have portrayed this story. And in those pieces, Susanna is shown naked or barely covering herself, but it's in a teasing way almost. In the story, she declines it, but they view that as her teasing them. Whereas in this piece that is painted by a woman, you can clearly see the discomfort and how she clearly wants nothing to do with them. And while she is portrayed as nude, it's not sexualized, whereas other pieces from this time period heavily were. Her head is facing clear away from them. She has both of her hands up, one blocking each of the men that are staring over her. She's trying to cover herself. Her torso is turned away so that her pelvis and that area are completely faced away from the men because, again, she does not want to sleep with them. But yeah, it's one of the only pieces where you can it's not one of the only pieces, but it's the only portrayal of the story in which you get to see that female gaze and that perspective of being the woman and just existing and not wanting to just give in to men's sexual desires. And yeah,